Today I'm going to talk about the Roman Empire. The Roman Empire has given us many great things. I would like to talk about the early Roman Empire. The early Roman Empire formed around 900 BC. It is believed that the Etruscans were the first people who united and built Rome. They were the first kings, and they were eventually overrun by the Senate and the people. And the last emperor of the Etruscan dynasty was Tarquin the Proud. After the Etruscans left Rome, the Roman peninsula, the Latins took over, and they set up the first democratic government ever. Because of their democracy government, they provided us today with the idea of democracy. Their greatest achievements was the construction of concrete. They took many influences from the Greeks and studied Greek mathematics, Greek inventions such as and they invented concrete. They developed the dome, arc, and also built a huge water canal which supplied water to Rome and other places in the Roman Empire, and aqueduct. The government was made up of two parts, the Senate and the Council. The Senate was the major power in the Roman Empire, the early Roman Empire, and it took control of all the building of public works and other such buildings such as bathhouses, educational schools, and other such things. They were very great in building, and many of their great monuments still live today in Rome. There was constant fighting between the plebeians and the patricians, two classes, the poor and the rich classes. Because of their fighting, the plebeians wanted more rights in the government, and eventually, little by little, they got more rights, and they started their thing called as a tribune. They got more rights, more part in the government. Rome was mainly a democratic government, but the people who are included and took part in the government were only free male citizens. Women, foreigners, and slaves could not take part. 1/3 of the Roman population was made up of slaves, and the slaves were either war captives or could not pay their debts back to the government. The Roman Empire's greatest accomplishment is the conquering of new lands and the building of a great empire. Wars with Carthage, Macedonia, Greek city-states, and other such countries brought great wealth and riches to the Roman Empire. After certain civil wars and the assassination of the Gracchi brothers, dictators started to come and tyrants started to come. They formed a line opposite of Greece to go towards an emperor. And Julius Caesar, the first emperor, the first dictator, came in power. He conquered Gaul and united all of Rome under his power. After his death, a civil war occurred, and because of that civil war, his adopted grandson, Octavian I, came to power. During his time, it was a period of Pax Romana, peace. Trade flourished throughout the empire, and it was the most peaceful time. Great emperors ruled these times, and also many inventions, learning was developed, more magnificent buildings were erected. One of the worst parts of the Roman Empire was the Colosseum and the killing of war captives, Christians, and other such people during this time. That was one of the major entertainment of the Roman people, which was really gruesome, and more than 5 million to 6 million people were killed, more, and a lot of animals were sacrificed. The Roman people believed in a religion which consisted of many gods, such as Jupiter, Mars, and other such gods. They were polytheistic, means believing in many gods. The Roman Empire was one of the greatest empire, and it took most of its influence over Greece, as I said before. The Roman Empire never weak- weakened in the early days, but was eventually weakened by several of civil wars and other such conflicts between the emperor and the senate. Eventually, after Pax Romana, ba- bad rulers came to power, and during that time, 52 rulers came in the period of a very short period, and that was the one of the mark of the end of the Roman Empire. The, in the Pax Romana, great emperors ruled, including Constantine, Diocletian, and other such emperors, who at Constantine stopped persecuting the Christian and 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 allowed Christianity in the empire. And Theocrates made Christianity the local religion of the Roman Empire. They stopped persecuting Christians in the Colosseum and everything. And Christianity grew throughout the empire, and they started rejecting the cults, such as the cult of Isis, and also other such cults they rejected. Eventually, after a series of weakening outside of invaders, such as the Germanic groups, such as Gaul, Vangots, Saxons, Angles, and other such nomadic groups, they were weakened inside and outside. There was a major civil wars which weakened the empire greatly, and a huge employment loss of treasury, and also the Romans were very weakened because they had such a large empire, they could not maintain the empire. So they took help from the Germanic groups, who in turn actually destroyed Rome and sacked it. Many times Rome was sacked. Eventually the Huns from the north came down and forced the Gauls to come into Rome and sack it. The end of the Roman Empire was 476 AD, when Oscillate conquered and sacked the Roman Empire.